Right now it's 7. We're starting with breaking news. Amtrak suspending trains between D.C. and New York City due to a massive warehouse fire in Baltimore, where efforts to fight that fire stand this morning and how it may disrupt your commute.
Right now, President Donald Trump is meeting with leaders in the Middle East. We're breaking down what the president says he plans to focus on during his 4-day trip.
Right now, heavy rain is soaking the DMV, and because of this, our area is under a weather impact alert and a traffic impact alert. We're keeping a close eye on your morning commute for you and what you need to know as you head out the door.
Good morning to you, and thank you very much for streaming with us on WUSA 9+. I'm Wisdom Martin.
I'm Annie Yu.
I'm Allison Seymour, and we've got a lot of news to get to over the next hour, but let's start with your rainy forecast on this Tuesday morning. Meteorologist Jonathan Myers joins us with more of today's weather impact alert. So, Jonathan, how much rain are we expecting just today?
Could be a solid 1 to potentially up to 3 inches of rain. So, we've been tracking this system for days now ongoing. And the weather impact alert here is going to go, not only for this morning, but for this afternoon, and again picks up for tomorrow afternoon with the risk of some storms. You're going to need a raincoat, you're going to need an umbrella, you're going to need some extra time on the roads and for your commutes. Also, I download the WSA 9 app and have that on your phone or device, so you can carry that radar with you. Now, we do have a flood watch in effect. Montgomery County, Frederick County points westbound in Maryland, then the district and also pretty much all of Northern Virginia. That's going to last you through today into tonight. The radar, the live sweep, shows us plenty of rain along the Beltway down to 301. Upper Marlboro and Clinton just got a new sweep in here, so you could see the yellows and the oranges. Basically from extreme southeast D.C. points south, and then there's some more up toward Baltimore. Then out toward Leesburg. There's just, it's just pretty much a soaking rain right now. And that will continue on and off through the day. So it's pretty much a Tuesday washout, I'd say. Going to need the rain gear. You're going to need the umbrellas. Notice this system's kind of pinwheeling down to our south and southeast, and it's not moving much. And it's got this big feed of moisture off of the Atlantic. So that means it puts us in rain pretty much all day long. 67 at 8 a.m. 10 a.m. we're at 68 at noon with all the clouds and the rain. Not going to allow temperatures to go much of anywhere. And that rain continues all the way through the mid to late afternoon into this evening, and then more picks up tomorrow with the potential of even some severe storms. I'm going to break everything down for you hour by hour, and that's going to be coming up in about 15 minutes. You'll want to stick around. Now a traffic impact alert with Randy.
All right, we're taking a live look right now at the Beltway. The outer loop is where we're moving slow here, topside. So this camera is near Colesville Road. Just dealing with a lot of volume delays at this point. You can see roads are still soaking wet this morning, so give yourself plenty of extra time and don't drive too close to the car there in front of you. Taking a look at the map here as a whole, just seeing a lot of volume delays in our normal problem spots. Bottom inner loop there through Alexandria and Fort Washington, the topside, which you just saw. 95 northbound in Dumfries. We're still seeing delays from a crash from earlier right after VA 234. It's been moved to the shoulder, but we're still backed up there. We are seeing improvements, though, no longer in the red. If you are headed in that direction, you can always hop onto 1. You'll be able to get around some of those delays there. Also still watching for this flooding on the Beltway outer loop there on the American Legion Bridge. Been following some flooding there on the right side throughout the morning. Quick check of your drive times here. 95 north. It'll take you over an hour to get you to the Beltway from Fredericksburg. 66 east, not looking too bad. Just volume delays, I should say. About 20 minutes to get you from Gainesville to the Beltway. Wisdom?
7:04 is the time right now. We're following breaking news out of Baltimore, where a massive warehouse fire is causing major traffic disruptions, travel disruptions. Just 3 hours ago, Amtrak expanded service closures between D.C. and New York City. This is a critical corridor for thousands of daily commuters.
The fire started around 7 last night. At last check, it was still burning, but it's been contained. Fire officials say the warehouse stores mattresses and other materials that are extremely flammable. Now, this major fire is just feet from Amtrak tracks, forcing cancellations. And as you can imagine, it's creating a commuter nightmare this morning. Jacqueline Quinn live at Union Station now with the latest on this story. We're talking about more than 70,000 people that go through here each day that are impacted by this, Jacqueline.
Yeah, we're seeing some people who are surprised, frustrated, having to potentially make some changes to their schedule. But even just looking at this board, we've been tracking this year. We're seeing the cancellations to New York. See, this is Amtrak 740 canceled. I think that might have been something that we were tracking. And then also the Mark Penn line, that has been canceled until further notice. Now, not quite super busy, but just busy enough during the morning commute hours. A lot of people lined up there just waiting for their trains. Others, because they've heard about this, they haven't quite come in yet, but they are waiting for their potential route to get back on track now. Now, we were looking and through Amtrak, some of the latest updates here. Acela 2162 between DC and New York. Trains 131 and 112 and 151 is canceled. Those all going between New York and DC. Now here in DC, again, we talked about the cancellation at 7:40, but I was looking at Baltimore around 9 a.m. There should be another significant delay. We were tracking a train there, and some good news, earlier trains that we've looked at, they seem to leave on time. There was a 10-minute delay for the 2152 that was going to New York, but some are leaving. Now, also looking at the MARC commuter trains, as I mentioned, the Penn line is completely shut down. Commuters are urged to use the Camden line. A decision about this is expected later this afternoon. So why the impacts? Again, we talked about this fire burning so close to the tracks. Crews are still assessing this. And of course, right now we are still keeping track of all the changes for you. But if you want to go online and check through Amtrak or MARC, just put in your station that you're leaving from and to your destination to see if you have cancellations or delays. For now, I'll send it back to you guys.
All right, you can count on us to stay on top of this breaking news. For any updates anytime, download the WSA9 app on your phone and watch us anytime on the free WSA9 app, WSA9 Plus streaming app. Right now, President Trump is in Saudi Arabia to kick off his 4-day visit to the Middle East. As we speak, the president is meeting with the Crown Prince. The meeting comes as the president faces criticism for saying that he would accept a jumbo jet donated by Qatar to be his exclusive presidential plane. Naomi Ruckham has more on today's visit.
Today, President Donald Trump met with Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman in Riyadh. The main focus, business investment. Later, President Trump also attends an investment summit with executives expected from several major companies, including Nvidia, Citigroup, and Uber. The president will also visit Qatar and the United Arab Emirates this week.
Thank you very much.
Ahead of the trip, the president doubled down on defending plans to possibly use a luxury jet donated by Qatar, calling it a gift to the Defense Department.
I could be a stupid person and say, no, we don't want a free, very expensive airplane. But I thought it was a great gesture.
President Trump also hinted that he might take a detour to Turkey if Ukrainian and Russian officials move forward with high-stakes peace talks there on Thursday.
I was thinking about actually flying over there. There's a possibility of it.
Those comments made as the president signed an executive order setting a 30-day deadline for drug companies to lower their prices to levels similar to those charged in other wealthy nations, or else they could face steep caps in Medicare payments.
Big Pharma will either abide by this principle voluntarily or will use the power of the federal government.
On trade, President Trump says he plans to speak to China's President Xi Jinping as soon as this week, after his administration announced a deal Monday for both to slash tariffs by 115% for the next 90 days. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
Right now, a group of nearly 50 white South Africans known as Afrikaners are adjusting to life in D.C. WSA 9 captured the private charter as they landed at Dulles International yesterday. The Deputy Secretary of State was there to greet them.
A lot of you, I think, are farmers, right? When you have quality seeds, you can put them in foreign soil and they will blossom, they will bloom. And we are excited to welcome you here to our country where we think you will bloom.
The Trump administration granted the group asylum, arguing South Africa was discriminating against them because of their race. South Africa's president has denied this claim. The group is now on a path towards U.S. citizenship, and President Trump says he plans to meet with South African leadership sometime next week.
Back here at home, people who live in Loudoun County say they're fed up with the traffic jams caused by President Trump. They tell us his motorcade has been cutting off roads when he plays golf at his club in Northern Virginia. Now, questions are being asked about who's picking up the bill for his traffic escort in and out of the area. Katie Lusso is tracking the motorcade mayhem unfolding in Sterling.
About 25 miles from the White House is Trump National Golf Club. It's also the Lowe's Island neighborhood in Sterling.
Doesn't matter who we voted for, we just want to be able to access our house.
Mara Moreland says since January, her neighborhood has been shut down 4 times as the president passed through.
I tried to show them my ID. I tried to tell them that I lived here, and they basically said to me, nobody in, nobody out.
But this isn't just about accessibility. The county is now looking into how much taxpayer money is being used for the president's trips.
We are not being reimbursed for that. We have asked in writing, and we will continue to ask.
The Loudoun County Sheriff's Office says they've helped the Secret Service with security as President Trump made his way to the golf course for various events the past few months.
Our overtime budget is not designed to support this, so.
When asked if they could simply say no, the Sheriff's Office explained it's not that simple.
The last thing we want is an incident occurring in Loudoun County.
It feels different than it did in the first term.
Julie Briskman is the county supervisor and chair of the financial committee. She's asked the sheriff's office to put together a report of exactly how much money has been used.
With everything going on with quote unquote waste, fraud, and abuse, I decided that we should figure out how much this is costing the county.
She wants to know what these events are for.
If it's an official White House presidential event, then, I can understand spending taxpayers' dollars on it. But again, spending taxpayer dollars on it in a transparent way.
She also says she wants to find common ground so people who live here can get in and out of their homes. We received a statement from Secret Service while we were speaking with her. It reads in part, quote, "The Secret Service does not have the authority or mechanism to directly reimburse local governments for assistance," end quote.
Off the cuff to me, that says we either need to work directly with the administration to get reimbursed, or we need to have a bill in Congress.
In Loudoun County, I'm Katie Lusso, WUSA 9.
7:12, developing news out of Prince George's County. Investigators are trying to figure out who shot and killed a grandmother while she was babysitting her grandchildren. They're offering a $25,000 reward for anyone with information. Police say Reverend Leslie Yvette Davis was shot inside a home in Palmer Park on Saturday morning. Her daughter believes she was shot by mistake.
There's no way nobody intended to do this to my mom. It was intended for another house. That's what I think.
Police say they do not believe the shooting was random, but have not confirmed whether the shooting was a case of mistaken identity. Stay with WUSA 9 for any updates.
Let's get to another story out of Prince George's County. It's got a lot of you talking online. Right now, a woman is being held without bail after police say she drove through Laurel's Main Street Festival. It was all caught on an officer's body-worn camera. Take a look.
Please do not disturb this area.
I might have to.
Ma'am. Kind of run through the roadblock. It's 2 George Lincoln 4626. Stop! Stop your car! Stop! Stop!
Excuse me, y'all.
The good news here, and pretty amazingly, no one was hurt in that crowd, but the officer who stopped the car was. The driver, Kaya DeBerry Bostic, is facing multiple charges, including assaulting a police officer, and her trial is set for July 18th.
We also have an update on one of the teens accused of killing a D.C. officer, A 16-year-old is now pleading guilty to all 5 charges against him. Investigators say the boy and a group of other teens robbed Brad Smith on T Street in Northwest. Police say the boy stole Smith's cell phone, which they later found in his possession. The teen did not deny any of the prosecution's testimony, but his mother, well, she tried defending her son in the courtroom. She shouted several times at her son's court-appointed lawyer before she was escorted out of the courtroom. Now, she spoke to us afterwards about why she was so unhappy.
They give you an attorney that doesn't work in anyone's favor.
The 16-year-old will be sentenced on June 9th. The 3 other teenage suspects have also been arrested in connection with the case.
Well, the trial of music mogul Sean Diddy Combs will resume in less than 2 hours.
The music mogul is facing 5 federal charges, including racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking.
Day 1 of the federal criminal trial saw prosecutors call 2 witnesses. Lee Wallman has a look at what jurors can expect today in New York, and we want to warn you that some of the video evidence in this story may be disturbing.
Before she's even taken the stand, singer Cassie Ventura was front and center in the prosecution's case against her former boyfriend, Sean Diddy Combs. Ventura and another woman, only identified as Jane, are at the center of the prosecution's argument. In opening statements, prosecutors described Combs allegedly forcing Ventura to perform in so-called drug-fueled freak-offs, saying half the week Cassie was in a dark hotel room, high and awake for days, performing sex acts she did not want to do on male escorts, with Combs recording those interactions for blackmail. Prosecutors allege Combs called himself the king and expected to be treated like one. Combs has pleaded not guilty to 5 counts, including racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Shown in court Monday, a 2016 surveillance video showing Combs attacking Ventura inside a hotel. Prosecutors pointing to that video claiming if Cassie didn't do what the defendant wanted, the consequences were severe. Combs' defense countering, calling the video overwhelming evidence of domestic violence. He's charged with running a criminal enterprise. Domestic violence is not sex trafficking. Further contradicting claims of coercion by claiming Ventura stayed with Combs for 11 years and left on her own terms. Ventura's attorney says she'll be ready to testify.
She's brave and she's courageous.
In New York, I'm Lee Waldman.
And we want to take a moment to remind you that there is always help available in these types of situations. We want to share some of those resources right now. The National Domestic Violence Hotline. That number is 1-800-799-SAFE. You can also chat with someone live at thehotline.org, or you can text the word START to 88788. And these resources, they're available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
WUSA 9 Weather Impact Alert is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
Well, a weather impact alert in effect for today, all day, and tomorrow afternoon, all for the same system. Heavy rain, isolated flooding, and potential for today. You're going to need your raincoat. You're going to need your umbrella. You're going to have to allow extra time for travels. I'd also download the WSA 9 app, have that on your phone, ready to go. Notice the yellows here on the east and southeast side of the Beltway. That is bad. Camp Spring all the way up to, or Camp Springs, I should say, all the way up to Silver Hill, Walker Mill, Route 4. That's Maryland Route 4, all the way back to 29 and 66 in portions of Fairfax County, in Fairfax in the city, and all the way back up to McLean, and then Sterling, Prince William. I mean, it doesn't get much worse than this for a morning commute. Down to Charlottesville, Richmond, Norfolk, there's more rain that's moving in. This system, I mean, look, you can kind of see the rear edge of the clouds, Chicago to St. Louis to Memphis, the east side from New York up to Boston. What do you notice? This is just not moving. So that big feed of rain coming in from the Atlantic, all that moisture, it is moisture fueled. Well, it's just not going to be changing much today and tomorrow too. This system's really going to have to kind of weaken overhead instead of getting picked up and moved away, because there's not really anything to kick it off to the east. So we continue with flood watches for today for Montgomery County, Frederick County, points west in Maryland, West Virginia Panhandle, Northern Virginia, and also the district for our Tuesday. So what you see is kind of what you get. Also a severe weather risk. That's going to be down towards St. Mary's County, extreme lower Delmarva, down toward, again, Frederick, Spotsylvania, Culpeper, Harrisonburg area, down the 81 corridor. That's a potential of damaging winds. Also a damaging wind threat for tomorrow as that pushes northbound, as we could get a little bit of sunshine. That could help to kind of cook up the atmosphere. And that includes, again, a 1 in 5 risk of severe weather there in those lighter greens both days. But that risk gets to the district for tomorrow. Right now, 67. It's cloudy. It's raining. Skycam looking like a mess. And, excuse me, it really is a mess today. Winds out of the east kind of biting and damp at about 10 miles an hour. Temperature starting in the 60s, 67 at 9 a.m. By 10 a.m. we're at about 68. And guess what? Temperature's really going nowhere fast with all the clouds and the rain today. Working all the way through about 8 to 9 a.m. More rain arrives from the south, especially west of the district, the worst of it. You see the reds, the yellows, the oranges on our Futurecast legend, all the way from Winchester to Martinsburg, Culpeper, Manassas. You know, we've been tracking this all the way through the weekend, said it was going to be pretty bad, and yep, it is. And it looks like it is going to be kind of ugly all the way through tonight as that rain moves north. Now, we need the rain. Again, the commute's just going to be a mess. That's going to be, again, tomorrow morning, potentially not as bad. Could have some dry time, but then more storms erupt afternoon and evening by 9 p.m., getting some of those in the district. And those should then diminish back to isolated showers or a thunderstorm here for Thursday, Friday. Look at those highs. Could it be even approaching 90 degrees by Friday? And then for Saturday and Sunday, low to mid 80s. That's going to be our World Pride Fest weekend, at least weekend number 1 coming. We've got Preakness going on as well. And sunshine is looking like the rule with those 80s, and then back to the 70s on Monday into early next week. But again, kind of tracking back to today and tomorrow, that weather impact alert does continue. And here is one of the reasons why. On top of that, at least limited severe weather threat, there's going to be the potential of flooding. There's going to be the potential of some ponding on roadways as well. Here's your rainfall potential. This is through early on Thursday, so pretty much when everything's all said and done. Could see over 1.5 inches of rain here in the district. Gaithersburg about 1.25 inches up around BWI, closing in on 2 inches at Annapolis. And how about here in Luray all the way down to Charlottesville? That could be a solid 3 to 4 inches of rain there. So again, a real nasty kind of 24 to 36 hour period coming. And then things gradually begin to dry off for Thursday, Friday with some isolated storms. And then primarily rain-free, although it's a slim chance of a shower or storm here for Saturday and Sunday all the way into the weekend, 73 into next Monday. Now I'm going to send things over to Randy. Things are crawling on the Beltway this morning.
This WUSA 9 Traffic Impact Alert is sponsored by 3-Day Blind.
All right, yeah, we are moving slow on the Beltway inner loop here near St. Barnabas Road. Just volume delays, no accident or a disabled vehicle in this area. Again, just a lot of cars moving nowhere fast as we deal with a wet Beltway this morning. I want to take you to the outer loop of the Beltway on the American Legion Bridge. We are still tracking flooding there on the right side, so be cautious if you normally take this way. Other than that, in Virginia, Prince William Parkway eastbound near Minnieville Road, we have a crash. 2 right lanes blocked in that area. Quick check of your drive times here. 66 eastbound takes about 20 minutes to get to the Beltway from Gainesville. 395 north, we are seeing heavy delays there. We are in the red. 95 north takes you 71 minutes to get you to the Beltway from Fredericksburg. Also want to let you know about a quick heads up for drivers in D.C. This week is National Police Week, and MPD is hosting several events here to celebrate their officers. There's a candlelight vigil happening tonight, but let's get to the street closures, and we are losing parking as well. So for parts of this week, you won't be able to drive along portions of Pennsylvania Avenue and Independence Avenue in both Northwest and Southwest. Also a number of parking restrictions here in Northwest and Southwest. Big ones are going to be Constitution Avenue and Independence Avenue from 3rd Street to 15th Street, and then 6th and 7th Streets from Pennsylvania Avenue to Constitution, as well as 3rd Street from Constitution Avenue Northwest to Independence Avenue. This is going to be in effect until Friday at midnight. You can find the full list on WUSA9.com. Allison?
Randy, thank you. Well, the unofficial start of summer less than 2 weeks away now, and AAA predicts record travel for Memorial Day this year, with 45 million people expected to travel for the long holiday weekend, and that would break a record set back in 2005. Unlike in years past, they expect more people will drive this year. Now, that's due in part to recent travel issues at U.S. airports like Newark and Reagan National, here, of course, in our area. It also doesn't hurt that gas prices, they're down nearly 50 cents a gallon from this time last year. Well, we've got more news ahead in our next half hour. Here's a look at what's coming up. A packed meeting full of D.C. residents voicing their opinion about the future of the old RFK Stadium site, their concerns as the district works to become the sports capital.
And a massive overhaul of Metrobus. Every single line will see some sort of change. We're going to walk you through it all.
Get up, D.C. We'll be right back. Good morning to you. I'm Wisdom Martin. We're following major disruptions to travel in D.C. Due to this massive warehouse fire in Baltimore. Amtrak has canceled multiple trains between D.C. and New York. Here's a look at those cancellations on your screen. And a heads up, if you take the MARC train, the Penn line is shut down this morning. No word yet if afternoon service will resume. Jonathan.
And we are contending with a mess this morning and actually all the way through the afternoon. Weather impact alert is in effect. Heavy rain, even a few storms, especially south. There's some more storms, the potential tomorrow afternoon. So there's another weather impact alert there. Temperatures jammed up in the 60s all day long with that on and off shower risk. Again, it could be heavy at times. Then the PM storms tomorrow giving way to just an isolated shower storm Thursday and Friday. Drier for the weekend.
All right, here's a look at the Beltway Interloop near St. Barnabas Road. We are seeing heavy volume delays in this area and Alexandria, too. A quick check of the map here. Topside outer loop of the Beltway. We are also moving really slow there as well. Quick note here on the Beltway outer loop on the American Legion Bridge. We're still tracking some flooding there on the right side. Still tracking this crash here on Prince William Parkway. Eastbound lanes near Minneville Road. We have 2 right lanes blocked in that area.